And hello, this is a video on probably two of the worst words for math students put together: algebra and fractions, so algebraic fractions. And so let's have a look at these two things. Now, let's just remind ourselves how we add fractions. So if we've got, say, 3/7 and we want to add, let's say, 2/10 or something like that, we can't add two fractions that have different denominators, and so we need to write them as the same denominator. So if we look at this, we've got a 7 here and a 10 here. We need to think of what the lowest common multiple of 7 and 10 is. And in fact, the lowest common multiple of those two numbers, they don't have any sort of common factor. Let's just write out all the multiples of 7. You've got 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, etc., etc. We keep going. And the multiples of 10 are 10, 20, 30, blah, 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 blah. So the lowest number that will be in both of these lists is 70, okay? So 70. And so that's a cheat shortcut, that if you're looking for the lowest common multiple of two numbers, then you can just multiply them together. So we can change that one into 70. So if we're changing this fraction's denominator to 70, we've multiplied it by 10. We've multiplied that by 10, so you need to multiply the top line by 10 as well. So that's 30 over 70. And what about this one here? What do we need to multiply this fraction by to get over 70? We need to multiply that by 7. So we need to multiply the top line by 7. So we get 30 over 70 plus 14 over 70. And your answer is, once you've got the same denominator, you can just add those two together. 30 plus 14, that's equal to 44 over 70. And that can be simplified to 22, 35. Okay, so that's how we add fractions back in the numerical world. But with algebra, it's slightly different. So if you have 3x over 7 plus 2x over 10, okay, I just realised I had a non-simplified fraction, but that's okay, is equal to, we do exactly the same thing. We've got a 7 and a 10 here. We need to have the same denominator. So let's put them both over 70 and have a think about this. What have we multiplied this fraction by? We've multiplied it by 10. Multiplied that bottom line by 10. So we need to multiply the top line by 10. What's 3x times 10? 30x. Fantastic. Here we've multiplied that 10 by 7, so we've multiplied that bottom line by 7. We need to multiply our top line by 7. What's 2x times 7? That's 14x. Once we have that, we can write it as over the same fraction, so that's 30x plus 14x, because we have the same denominator, which in the end is equal to 30 plus 14, which is 44x, which is 22x over 35. Okay, so you can see the similarities here. The algebra should not hold any fears for us, because we just do exactly the same things that we'd normally do with fractions. So fractions scare you, get good at them, but if they don't, then algebra shouldn't be any tougher. Okay, so I'll just do a bunch of examples to help show you this. Okay, so how about 3x over 16 minus 2x over it's going to do 12, but then I'll just leave it like that. Even though it's not in simplest form, I'll just do it like this. Okay, so we're looking for the lowest common multiple of 16 and 12. Okay, so if you don't know how to do this, maybe you can just write out like this. You could do the multiples of 12. What are multiples of 12? You've got 12, 24, 36, 48, etc. Okay, and then the multiples of 16, you've got 16, 32, 48, etc. Okay, so the lowest number that's in both of those lists is 48. So what we want to do is write both of these over 48. Okay, I ran out of a bit of space there, but that's okay. So 48. What have we multiplied this bottom line by? Well, we've multiplied that by 3 to get 48. So we need to multiply the top line by 3. 3x times 3 is 9x. This down here, what have we multiplied 12 by to get 48? We've multiplied that by 4. So I need to multiply the top line by 4. 2x times 4 is 8x. And we've got that minus in there, so we'll leave that there. If we put those two together, we have 48 on the bottom line. What have we got on the top line? 9x minus 8x, which is just x. And so that's your answer there, x over 48. Now if you did what I said in the last one and you just multiplied those two together to find the lowest common multiple, it's not the lowest common multiple, but it is still a multiple, that would give you the right answer still, but it would be in a this would be a big number, 16 times 12, and so you need to do a bit more work to reduce it down to simplest form. Okay, so I'll just do another example. How about when we've got, say, x on the bottom line? Geez. Let's have a think about this. Okay, what is the lowest common multiple of x and 2x? Okay, so if you want to do it in this format again, what are the multiples of x? Okay, I'll just delete that because it's going to get in the way. I'll just do it below here maybe. What are the multiples of x? You've got x, then you've got 2 times x, you've got 3 times x, you've got 4 times x. Okay, we're just writing out the times tables of x if you like. 1 times x, 2 times x, 3 times x, 4x, etc. What are the multiples of 2x? You've got 2x and then 2 times 2x, 3 times 2x, 4 times 2x, etc. What's the lowest number, I'll say number in quotation marks, that's in both of these? It's 2x. Okay, so what we need to do is write both of these over our common multiple of 2x. Alright, what did we multiply this x by to get 2x? We've multiplied it by 2. So let's multiply the top line by 2. So that's 6. What did we do to this fraction here? Nothing. We haven't changed that at all, and so we leave it like that. Now that the denominators are the same, we can just add the top lines, and we've got 6 plus 5, so the answer is 11 over 2x. Something like that. Okay, let's do some a bit more sort of year 10-y type difficult examples. How about like x plus 3 over 7 minus x plus 1 over 2. Let's do this one. We need to write them over common denominator. What's our lowest common multiple going to be? In this case, 7 times 2 is 14, and 2 goes into 14 as well. So 14 is our best number here. Okay, so just think about what you'd do if you had like 1/7 minus 5 over 2 or something. The number you'd choose is 14. So let's do that here. So this is equal to something over 14 minus something over 14. Let's think about this. What did we do here? To make this over 14, we multiplied the bottom line by 2. So we need to multiply the top line by 2. What does that look like? It looks like 2 times x plus 3. Like that, because we've multiplied the top line by 2. In this line down here, what have we multiplied the bottom line by? We've multiplied that by 7 to get 14. So I need to multiply the top line by 7 also, so that'll be 7x plus 1, like that. Now that we have everything over the same, we have the same denominator here, we can put them together. So what we've got is 2 bracket x plus 3 minus 7x plus 1. Okay, we've got that minus there. If that was a plus, that would be a plus in there. Okay, so now all we need to do is expand this top line out just to simplify what's going there. So you know how to expand brackets. So that's 2 times x, 2x. 2 times 3 plus 6. Expand this out and do not forget this negative, okay? Do not forget, that's your little asterisk for this question. Lots of people will forget about that negative and stuff everything up. This is not 7, it's negative 7. Be really careful here. So what's negative 7 times x? Well, that's negative 7x. What's negative 7 times positive 1? That's negative 7 all over 14. Clean it up. We've got 2x minus 7x, which is minus 5x. Positive 6 minus 7 is minus 1 over 14. And that's your answer there. Okay, so the steps are write it over a common denominator, put them together, expand and simplify the top line, and that's basically how to do it. I'll do one more sort of example. What if you've got something horrible on the bottom line? So let's say x over x plus 7 minus 3 over I'll do it. Let's just do something a bit more horrible. 2x minus 3, something like that. Let's have a think about this one. What's our common denominator going to be here? Holy crap, we've got this yucky thing x plus 7 and we've got this yucky thing 2x minus 3. How do we put these two together? Well, you remember the first example I did, I can't remember what it was. It was like something like 1 7 plus 1 over 2, was it? Or 10? It was 10, I think. Can't remember. But when you struggle to find any, the sort of your go-to, your default setting might be just to multiply those two together to get something over 70. Okay, 10 over 70 plus 7 over 70. That's your go-to thing. You just multiply them together if you've got no other option. Okay, up here we can do the same thing. So what we can do is, I'll try to squeeze it in, we can just multiply these two and have that as our common denominator. So we can have x plus 7 multiplied by 2x minus 3. That'll be our first fraction, minus something over, it'll be the same thing, x plus 7 2x minus 3. Okay, so that's the setup. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on. Firstly, what have we done to this fraction? What have we multiplied this by to get this? Well, we've multiplied it by 2x minus 3. So we've multiplied the bottom line by 2x minus 3. We need to multiply the top line by 2x minus 3. Okay, so that's that. Over this side, what have we multiplied this by to get this? Well, we've multiplied it by x plus 7. We've multiplied this bottom line by x plus 7, so we need to multiply the top line by x plus 7. So we have 3x plus 7. And the way that you can sort of check that this is right is just sort of cover your hand over that and that. They would cancel out and you'd be left with x over x plus 7, that's right. And over here you can just cover your hand over x plus 7 there, you should get 3 over 2x minus 3. And in fact that's right. Okay, so that's just a little way to check that you've just done everything right and you haven't messed up. Right, now that we have the same denominator, we can write everything over the same denominator. So we've got x plus 7 2x minus 3, and then we just put it all together. So I'll do it in two different steps. X 2x minus 3 minus 3x plus 7. Okay, remember to keep all your brackets in there. Equals. Now we're just going to expand and simplify the top line. So that's our next step, and we're getting close to finishing this tricky problem. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times positive 7 is negative 21. Okay, and simplify, we've got 2x squared minus 6x minus 21 all over x plus 7 2x minus 3. And that's as far as you'd want to simplify, so that is your answer there. And that's basically it for algebraic fractions. If you can do all that, then you're doing well, because a lot of people hate this. See you in the next video.